think it's safe to say that I'm a definite knife person, as well as some other gear. And I wish I had more time to roll out more videos, but honestly, being a student and especially moving, so you gotta really love my super fancy background here. It's just news end because we're moving, but I really do enjoy knives. But this guy just came in the mail today, and I'm so excited. So I'll just do a quick unboxing, and later I'll just do an all-out review. So in comes another Spyderco. Yes, 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 I am definitely a Spyderco fan. Everything they do, the box is always executed very, very nicely, very professionally done. And man, even if you just see this much of a box, if you're a knife person at all, you know that this is a Spyderco box. So let's go and dig straight into it. So Spyderco Sage 1. And here it comes just in the plastic. It is sealed. Yep, as you can see right there, it's bubbling up a little bit. And then there's just the Spyderco paperwork. Congratulations, dear Spyderco customer. Congratulations on your Spyderco Sage. And it kind of just talks about the locking mechanism and what this knife is all about. So let's go ahead and get these off the table some, and let's go and open this up. So in comes the trusty Delica, and we'll go ahead and just slit this packaging open real quick. Oh, super, super sharp fine edge, thanks to my sharp maker. So, oh man, I am very excited about this. This is one of Spyderco's premium knives, so let's just go and take a look at it real quick, and I will come back later with an all-out review. So, as we can see here, blade centering is spot on. It's full flow-through construction. They're super discreet wire clip. And yeah, carbon fiber handles. Premium S30V blade steel. I've been really wanting to get one of these for a while. Just not just a Sage, but something with S30V. So yeah, let's go and open it up real quick. And oh, that is just really satisfying to hear. So let's look at this lock up real quick. Focus in on it. Yeah, it's pretty early. I mean, it's definitely all the way in, but it's not like 100%. Man, that is just satisfying. And so far, I can already tell you that this is one of the most comfortable knives I've ever held. So I will be back with another full-on, or not with another, but an addition full-on review with my Spyderco Sage 1. And I'll definitely be comparing it to my trusty Delica that I've also been carrying around now for about 3 months. So until then, from our hotel room, we're moving, and we're taking a couple days doing it. But this isn't what I wanted to show you. Like I just said, we've been moving, and I've been using primarily just one knife to do a lot of our moving stuff, and that would be my Sage 1 by Spyderco. So I just thought I would break this video up into a couple different parts, excuse me, and just kind of talk about it a little bit in my experiences. So today was spent mostly putting boxes into a truck, but I did have to cut up some boxes and whatnot, and the edge on it is actually holding up quite well. Just what I would have expected from CPM S30V blade steel. One thing that I did notice though is whenever I was trying to cut with it, even with my finger on the choil, it did get hung up quite a bit on that cardboard when you're actually doing some real world use with it, not just holding it and demonstrating cutting tests on it. And I think that has a little bit to do with just how thick this blade stock is. So let me just go and grab my Delica real quick, and we can show that to you. Alright, so here. As we can see here, the Delica is much thinner, and I did find, of course, that it did cut through cardboard a lot easier, and a lot of that's due to the thinness of the blade. But as far as edge retention goes, the S30V has held up much better, and it's still hair popping sharp. The carbon fiber scales on this, they're actually holding up also incredibly well. These aren't cheap at all, and they look beautiful still, even after a day of my hands being sweaty and grimy and just all around dirty. Man, look at that carbon fiber. It just kind of glows. What's up again, guys? Ishikawa back again to bring you part 3 of, not quite sure how many videos yet, but I'm still carrying my my Sage 1, and it is now Wednesday the 28th, and I've been EDCing this about for a week now, and you know what? Like I said in my previous few segments, we've been moving, and this has been my primary go-to. It's still doing really, really well. The main reason why I bring this update to you today is just kind of talk about the edge a little bit. It's a little hard to see right up here. Let's get this to focus. Yeah, you can't really see it too well, but there are just a few spots right through here and a little bit up through this tip. They're just starting to curl just a little bit, and you know, that's to be expected with anything that you're going to actually put through real-world hard use. Overall, though, I'm quite impressed with the Sage. It just disappears in your pocket thanks to this deep carry wire clip, and I know there are other people on YouTube who just rave about this, and honestly, it really does bury. It's quite nice and whatnot. I think the thing I still like the most about it is this 50-50 choil up here. When you put this in your hands, it just feels like this is where it's meant to be. It's very comfortable to use long term, and honestly, the only hot spot I can feel so far is actually just right here on the pocket clip. If you can see the little indent right there. Let me grip it nice and hard one more time so you guys can kind of see that. There we go. So it's right through there. But honestly, that's with me putting really strange pressure on the blade. If you were just to hold it like normal, so get this snugged up into your fingers like that, you can kind of see right there the pocket clip doesn't even touch you at all. Very, very comfortable to use. And this thing is just so much fun to play with. This is my, of course, preferred method of deployment. It's just very simple, but you can also flick it open, and you can just rotate open, and it's just very satisfying. It's very smooth. This is accomplished with these two pivot head screws right here, and essentially all you're doing, if I'm just going to put this down right here to show you, sorry, is weird. Camera's kind of bent, so let's see if we can try and fix that. Nah, it's okay. Whatever. Anyways, but what you got right here is you got these two screws, and all they're doing is they're just basically holding the blade into place. They're two male end bits, so they're not really squeezing the knife together like you would see on the Delica or even the Mini Cryptilian. It's essentially just allowing the blade to kind of float freely within a very high tolerance cage. So it's not really floating at all. It's actually got resistance there, but it's not being forced and pulled together with the screws like we find in most knives, and therefore it just provides a very, very smooth action. And like that was barely even moving at all. Let's see if I can get this to barely move. No, not quite enough. But yeah, it's just barely any touch, and the thing just wants to fly right open. This knife is extremely fun to play with, and even after a week looking at the carbon fiber, it's still holding up really nicely, as well as the pocket clip, which I'm pretty sure has been anodized, not painted as we see on some of the other Spyderco models. There we go. Get that to focus on the clip. Yeah. Just beautiful. I'm still amazed with the tolerances in this knife. As you can see right here, let me go to the back. You can't even see the screws popping out at all from either side, so you just run your finger right over top. You don't even feel it. And yes, that is the carbon fiber. It is just a little grippy, and it's not too much, but not too little. It just provides just enough traction, and it's a beautiful, gorgeous knife that doesn't weigh a whole lot. And honestly, this is a pleasure to own and a pleasure to play with. And if you don't have one, I highly recommend you snag one. It's worth every penny. Now all I got to do next is convince my wife that the Sage 2 is a worthy cause as well. So we'll kind of see about that. I'll be getting back to you guys in the next little segment, just about whatever else I find. So it's been 1 week with the Sage here, and I am absolutely loving it still. So there we go. Until next time, which will be in just a few seconds for you guys. What's up again, guys? So I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit again about this knife, just a little bit. I'm still carrying the Sage 3, as the video has been talking about, and honestly, for the last week, I've had to kind of switch back to my Delica, as I didn't want to scuff it up too much, just because it's pretty and I want to keep it that way, and it was much more expensive. So if I had to choose a throwaway blade, it would not be the Sage. But the main thing I just want to talk about today was just a little bit on deployment. So as you can see, here's a pair of my jeans. Let me just kind of hide the brand a little bit there. Sorry about that. And this is a pair of jeans that I really do like, and as you can tell, even with poor lighting, the knife carries really deep, and the pocket clip is almost unnoticeable at all. And just a smidge of the knife kind of sticks out a little bit right there. but it blends really well into almost everything that you would want to wear with it, including shorts and even slacks. Yes, slacks. Although I recommend using like a gray or a black. It does go really well with khakis as well. But the main thing I just want to talk about is just the deployment. As I noted, there's hardly anything sticking out of your pocket, so it's hard to grab onto. And because of that, you end up having to actually reach all the way down to the little divot of the pocket clip right here to pull the knife out. It makes it kind of difficult to do, especially whenever, here, now that we're done with these, let me get these out of the way. Especially if you notice right here where the other cutout is for, there we go, for the pocket clip on the reverse side. This is actually kind of sharp, and right there along the screw, I can't really turn it the other way because the light's not going to cooperate, but that's kind of sharp right there, and it just makes it a little bit more difficult to actually pull the knife out effectively. But you do have to kind of get all the way down to the pocket clip when you pull it out, so you have to reach into your pocket and kind of grab like this, and at first it's really awkward just because the pocket clip is so slick. But with that being said, I still really do enjoy the knife as well as how it carries. It carries nice and deep, and now that I've had it for several weeks and I've been using it, the deployment's still just as fast, and overall I still really like it. So my next video will definitely include some sharpening and what I thought about that. So yeah, there we go. Just a little update as far as the carry and the pocket clip goes on the Sage 3. 2, 1, Sage 1. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Alright, the final installation to this whole video review of my Sage 1, and I've now had it for almost 2 straight months, and I have now sharpened it, and it being S30V, it did take a little bit more to sharpen it, but I do find it takes a much better edge than the VG10, excuse me, of my Delica, which is also right here. It's just the Sage one, like I said, it took a much better edge, and I felt that it's cleaner. It doesn't snag as much. Of course, it holds the edge longer, and it's just an overall much better steel. But if we can try and look real closely here, get the camera to focus. All right, let me just use my Delica kind of as the pointer. All right. Right through here, there's a little stain on the blade, and I just found that to be really interesting, seeing as S30V is supposed to be this really great steel, and yet it's stained just from a little bit of water that I left on it just a little too long one day when we went hiking. I just cut a branch down real quick and just went on my merry way, and I thought I got all the water off all the way, but it didn't. But other than that, I have no complaints about this blade at all. The carbon fiber on it still looks just amazing if you can kind of get a nice good glint there of how it looks when light's reflecting off of it. The action is still really smooth. It wants to fly open. You give it that little bit. The lockup on it is still good, and I probably opened this knife like 4,000 or 5,000 times, mostly just to play with out of enjoyment. Now, which knife do I carry more? And honestly, I do carry the Delica more, but that's because I'm at work, and I don't really want to ruin my nice Sage here. If I had the choice, if I was just going to go to work in business casual, I would carry the Sage every day of the week. When I pull it out, it doesn't tend to scare people because of the carbon fiber. The blade shape is really good, and you can really get a lot of control when you choke up on the blade like this. I greatly enjoyed this knife just immensely, and I'm hard pressed to try and find another one that I will like more. So anyways, guys, that's my review on the Spyderco Sage 1. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time.